Hello, welcome everybody to the Crypto Business Podcast brought to you by Tokenmines. I'm your host, Rob Igaram, Director at Tokenmines, a full service crypto and NFT agency. In this podcast, we're discussing any blockchain topic that is relevant for businesses and founders. Today, we're going to talk about our updated NFT infographic. I have in the podcast with me Anker, who's a veteran crypto marketeer for the international as well as the Asian market, and Reinhart, who is a data analyst working full-time on gathering and analyzing data in the crypto industry. So I'm just going to walk us through it and ask you guys for some input on each data section here. So let's start at the general overview. I have over here a map of the different areas with an indication of the popularity of the NFT search volume. So how many people in which geographic area are looking for NFTs, and the list is led by Taiwan. Then we have Japan, South Korea, and actually interesting, the like more developed nations like Germany and the United States are really far from the top position, somewhere around 27, 25. What do you guys think of this data?
Uh, yeah, actually, for this data, as what I see, we can notice, right? Actually, the NFT industry actually where the study is from the states, and started from NFT Top Shot with all those collectibles, and they expand really to like Europe and Southeast Asia, like for quite some good projects, right, in Asia, Southeast Asia, and from last year, actually, based on those influence, right, by some like especially like what the Taiwan rank first here is, right, it's really led by some really super famous celebrities in Taiwan, and all followed by other like singers or other celebrities follow with that. So that's why we can see his here actually Taiwan is ranking the first. For Japan, actually, based on what I see, it's mainly on the animation, the cartoon industry, because that is really a perfect match, right, for those NFT concepts. South Korea is actually a typical and traditional like crypto country, and they have really a lot of crypto projects, businesses, exchanges. So it doesn't really surprise me. They're in the top three. Turkey, I think it's mainly for their national economy, right? So they need something like crypto NFT, right, to solve the issue with their economy situation. But one thing I also noticed, actually, for some South America countries like Brazil, Venezuela, Argentina, they really actually are also growing with this kind of crypto, no crypto NFT actually field. Based on what I see, actually there are quite some good companies. They have really some good, good ideas. They have actually, all these kind of strategies actually to start up with some really good NFT projects with their resources or something really special. For the Europe and the States, actually, they normally actually it's more like to this kind of DeFi or Web3 solutions. So because in the market actually trend will actually sometimes very dynamic. So there will be changed sometimes from like an NFT to another like topic or something. So that's based on what I see, especially for those some developed countries like the States, right, and Europe. They're more like for that Web3 solution and tech like DeFi and GameFi or something. So that is my opinion on this.
Yeah, that is an interesting view. I see that as well. That the top is basically at the moment, because of course it keeps changing. Like you said, we have it split out right here through different regions, where you can see there was a huge spike as well for NFTs end of last year for the USA. Um, but for Asian countries, we got that even stronger. In the US, actually, compared to crypto, it's almost equal, and of course, it's kind of declining. But for Asian countries, it's going up, and I'm sure we can see the same thing for South American countries, as they're also very much in the top of this list of popularity. Do you have any thoughts about this, Reinhard?
Yeah, as about for this, I think Anchor has already give his thoughts about this. As for me, not really much to be honest, because yeah, it's amazing that we can see here that the NFT trends in Asia is really, really, leading around the world. And even before, like, uh, the first time it first spiked at November, and you can see at November, no other countries, I mean, no other region is as strong as Asia. The trend on NFT is really, really high, and that might influence the other region like US, Europe, and Southeast Asia. That's really explained in the early of January, like when the Asia is also already strong in the NFT strongs. I mean the NFT trends. The others is also following, like they're also going up, and it's kind of like Asia is really leading the NFT trends there. But interestingly, crypto trends in Asia is is really pretty stable there. It never reaches like above 50, even before, even in the last year. But it is going up, and I think it's about to reach 50 and more in the Asia region. I think that's pretty, new here because we didn't see that before.
Yeah, it
From
almost feels like it's being pulled up by the NFT trend here. That's definitely interesting. And another thing to note, by the way, talk about these regions. The China and Russia. Obviously, this is Google data. This is Google
Mhm.
Trends, and China and Russia are not really tracked by Google because they have their own systems. So that's interesting that despite that, the Asian regions still peak there, and I'm sure that even Russia is in the top six.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that might be even stronger if you
Ye-
use their
Yeah.
local
exactly,
data.
I'm not sure if this data
exactly.
include also some like Russian they use Yandex, right? Browser more, and in China they use Baidu. So this will be not really included in this the current data. But as far as I know, in China at least, right, there are a lot of like NFT fans. There are a lot of like WeChat groups and influencers channels that talk really a lot about NFT, talking about all those NFTs in Taiwan and even some China mainland, right? There are some like team they actually funded a lot of like NFT products, like Ali and his friends, right? So it's really will add more value to this chart for this Asia, right? Data here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and another thing to note about this, I think, especially for the States, that, historically speaking, crypto has been more kind of trending than NFTs comparatively. But now actually it's being overtaken at the end of last year, and now it's kind of back to normal where we have crypto actually being slightly more popular than NFTs as well. So
Hmm.
that is an interesting trend to follow. Then let's go to the kind of the Ethereum price as well. I have here the different Bitcoin and Ethereum price charts, and then compared also to the total NFT sales. I think you guys found some interesting kind of like conclusions as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
yeah. Thanks, Rob. I did manage to see some, like connection, but it's not a straight connection. It's like a theoretically connection. It's whenever the Ethereum and the Bitcoin price is going down, like almost reaching its bottom, the NFT sales will uh, go up like really really high because I think that's just natural because they just want to collect the NFT while the price is really really down. I mean, oh, this NFT is kind of cheap now because the price of Ethereum is going down, and they will feel like, oh, this is the right moment to collect NFTs. That's why the NFT total sales will go up and go higher even before. Like that's just pretty natural in that case, but it's not always like that. Like as you can see in the March to April, like there's no really significant like connection there. But theoretically speaking, we want to collect NFT as much as possible when the price is down, right? When the price is reaching the bottom. Otherwise, we will buy it on the highest price possible, and that would be not really make sense.
Yeah,
But
and
this one,
and, and it's also, there's also some, I mean, the correlation that you're talking about, I think you can see at the end of last year where the Ethereum price went down, and you have like a negative correlation with NFT sales going up.
exactly.
And after February, March, there's less kind of structure there, but we had a lot of things happening in the macroeconomic space, right? With like of course, the war and the inflation
Yeah.
and a lot of things that influences
Yeah.
the equity markets in general. So maybe
Right.
that's part of the reason.
And
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, and one more thing, like besides what Reinhart also just mentioned, right, about the Ethereum price drop and more people actually they can they will tend to buy more NFTs. It's also something because anyway, right, so the whole market is led by Bitcoin or Ethereum, and if those mainstream token drops, the people actually that investor they want to participate in the project that got profits, right? And by end of last year, it's actually a lot of NFT projects. It's really a lot of hype in the NFT industry. So a lot of people will join because they see a lot of NFT projects once they're listed on secondary markets. They really get like a lot of profit.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, we have some NFT trends here in terms of which blockchains are used. So Ethereum still leading by far compared to the alternatives like Solana and Flow. Let's go to the next page here. So we have some data about the active wallets. A little bit kind of flattening out, just like what Anchor just mentioned. I think the market is not in a curve; it's more on a flat scale right now. And we have, in terms of the marketplace, mainly OpenSea doing still kind of taking the market lead by far. Any input on this, guys?
Yeah, you see there, like from January, I think looks rare is a little bit new compared to others, and looks rare is really popular like about January in January. But up until now, like it's like degrading. Their names is no longer can be heard by us because I think they just like kind of overpowered by OpenSea names because OpenSea is just like literally everywhere. Whenever you see like on social media, they just mention OpenSea. Yeah, especially here in Indonesia, like people only know like OpenSea, but there are so much marketplaces there, not just OpenSea, but yeah, I think it's because of the
Yeah.
market itself, right?
Part of the reason, I think, Anchor, you probably know about this as well, looks where they had a trading competition, I think, in the beginning of the year, which might have boosted their trading volume, because this chart is about trading volume, so maybe they got a boost
Yeah.
from that, and after the competition ended, it's
Yeah, that's true. Because actually, when I first see this data, it amazed me a bit because I thought that the variable actually will be more like a percentage here, right? And then it looks rare. I didn't really aware, but definitely, like Rob said, they did some trading competition that gets really some quick growth, and then after that, they really don't do much hype or something. But for Rarible, actually, originally I thought they will actually take more like percentage here, but it seems like the OpenSea is very dominant, right? I'm not sure if that's really health or not for this secondary market for NFT. But might be yeah, it's might be also better with another like guys that can compete together, right? To keep a more healthy market here for these NFT markets.
Yeah, but there's competitors coming out every day, including like big brands, maybe even like Facebook and Instagram will have their own marketplace. One interesting, by the way, trading volume is up by a lot. Of course, it's just trading volume, but still says something about the activity, as well as the active wallets. They are going up since March to April. So we have some good activity there. It's not all flat. So on that note, thanks everybody for listening, and see you in the next episode. And thank you, Anchor and Reinhart, as well. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you for having me, Rob. Bye bye.
Bye.